All I hear is hey now, the children are awake.
Here we are.
We'll bring
Yeah,
this in
can
a
you
little bit.
believe we are actually, yes, we're sitting on a nice, comfy couch in our new healing room. There's no more office.
No more office. We got rid of the office. But today we are doing our first weekly Conscious Connection Church.
Conscious Connection Church.
So we're going to be, I'm not going to say we're going to be throwing you a sermon. I'm going to say we're going to be spitting you some rhymes.
Spit some rhymes. This beat and that beat, probably like our intro music if you like that. I like the shirt. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, the children are awake.
Yeah.
So that is the topic of our sermon today.
Absolutely.
By the way, you can hear this amazing lyrical compilation of
We have permission now.
we have permission
So-
from a band called Tropodelic from here in Ohio, up in Cleveland, Ohio, and they are awesome and very, very, very just nice guys, great guys. Check them out on YouTube. That's all.
Absolutely.
And today we're going to talk a little bit about connection.
Absolutely. Well, let's get down to it. When it comes to connection, your connection's only going to be as strong as the connection you have to yourself. And what does that mean? And what does that look like? And how does that show up? With all the trying things that Sherry and I have ever been through, with all the things that either ripped us apart or even the thought patterns and processes that kept us in separation, the feeling always remained. Thing about the feeling is if you can't connect to how you feel, who are you asking the person you're connected to connect with? Because you want to be felt. I mean, that's kind of what wakes you up in this connection is you know that somebody's feeling you versus somebody's thinking about you. Two separate types of experiences. We were kind of just sitting talking yesterday to actually my brother, who literally said, he looked at us and he says, "I'm glad you're both here. I want to talk to you about some things." And it just occurred to me that I should have been talking to you. And what we started to hear from him after that was how he had never had that experience of that feeling you get with somebody. Because he's like, with you two, I could tell you two have a feeling type of thing versus
It's a love thing. Never experiencing love. Never experiencing that.
Never
experiencing that romantic type of love. Not a motherly love or a niece or a nephew type of love, but a
love that doesn't
love.
a love that doesn't have anything
love.
to do with your head.
Yeah.
Because in your mind, when you have like boyfriend and girlfriend, you have specific roles, specific things you have to do.
We do let our pets into Conscious Connection Church.
Yes, and they're actually probably agreeing with this. So when you look at somebody who doesn't get to feel or feels like, okay, I have to show up a certain kind of way for this person to actually love me, you actually start trying to convince yourself that the other person has asked you to be something you're not. And I don't know if that's happened, but I would tell you that we see this more times than not. And it's actually something that does take a lot of deep healing in order to change. Meaning you have to come up with a decision whether or not you want to be in your head about something or you want to be in your heart about it. And I think it's easy to practice being in your head because that's literally what we all learned. I don't know why we learned it, but one thing's for sure, investigating it never got us anywhere.
Right.
Because when you start going into things into the head, when it comes to love, when it comes to relationships, you get blocked. You don't mean to be blocked, but you actually start blocking yourself or start looking for ways that the other person is not going to accept you. When you're in that, if you are in that experience now, for example, if you're in an experience where you're waiting for somebody to accept you, maybe you should investigate what you don't or do accept about yourself. Because you can't ask somebody to give you something you're not giving you. And if they do, you'll find a way to block them or cut them off.
For sure.
It's been our experience, and not only has it been our experience, it's been a part. We'll just let them. Yeah, at some point they're gonna finish. So you literally start to tell yourself a whole lot more about what you're experiencing when it comes to, do I want them to feel me or do I want them to think about? So when you look at how do you repair certain types of things in a relationship or certain things that you are trying to look for inside of yourself, there's a couple of questions you could ask yourself. And just trust this here, it's not really, I could ask you right now, but it's not going to do anything if you can still make up a different story or have a rebuttal somewhere in it where you're not even catching what you're saying to yourself. There's always going to be that way that you abandon, reject, or betray yourself. It's hidden. It's hidden even in your dialogue that you speak out. And you know what? Here's a good one. And since we're preaching, let's go ahead and tell them this is a really good one. I can't tell people I know about this connection. That should tell you you've surrounded yourself with people who like to stay disconnected. Pay very close attention to how you're already telling on yourself about what you're willing to accept and not accept when it comes to connection.
Yeah.
We've seen it a lot. Oh, I can't tell people around me about this, because what you're going to end up telling them is you're going to tell them about how you're connecting, but normally they know you as a person who's disconnected. Be very, very, very careful. And if you feel that way, research or investigate the feeling to see if the feeling matches what you're saying. Because literally the person you're connected to, if they learn that you can't talk about them to other people, you've already blocked them, so they're going to block you.
For sure.
There's a reason why you're doing that. There's a reason why you surrounded yourself with people who don't like to talk connection or validating your disconnects. And telling them about this connection, they're going to validate your disconnects. That's the issue. But you really have to slow down and pay attention to what we're telling you about this. There's a way to heal this, but you got to do I want to say work, because work is the word that everybody chooses, but you even need to investigate your definition of work. Because name one time work connected you to healing, ever. Name one time help has ever connected you to healing. So if you've answered those, there's some deep stuff you can do. We got a team that can do it. We do it. We have found some very beautiful things when it comes to how you can find your disconnects in connection. And don't always focus on them, because a majority of the disconnects you experience from them were already in you. You got it right, Sherry?
That's right. That is right. I really want to reiterate the connection with yourself.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. People are so tired of hearing it.
Yeah, man.
And we get that all the time. We get it all the time in first or second session with us. You guys, I don't want to. I've done all the work. I've done all the work on myself. I've went through years and years and years of work. I've done all the self-help.
I think what scares me about that, when they say that, is even when you start asking them about it, they start to feel challenged.
Yeah.
That's not work then. That's not. You shouldn't be challenged or triggered. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I know why it is, because I did it too. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of crying. It's a lot of soul searching. It's a lot of work. And it's very draining. It's very exhausting. It's going in and finding the ugly, you know what I mean? And not bringing the ugly out, accepting it, facing it,
okay,
right?
Right.
And then bringing it out in a more positive way,
right? Instead
of, oh, I was abused. Well, look, I was abused, right? There's a different way.
Or I've been hurt.
Yeah. So we want to you know, when it comes to the connection to ourselves, we want to be like, well, we're fine. It's them, it's them, it's them. Well, if it's me, show me how. And then we can show you how. That's a guarantee. We can show you how.
And it's not to hurt you, it's to heal you.
It's to help you heal.
You're
it's
already,
to help you heal.
Right.
Yeah.
Is the hurt's in the way.
Right.
Because if you really think about when you say I've been hurt or somebody did this to me in the past,
yeah,
you didn't go back and recollect yourself to heal that in order for you to show up right now.
True.
So, and it's not even a right or wrong way. I mean, you just can't be now because you got hurt back then and you never connected back to you. And when you didn't connect back to you, who are you asking them to connect to? Because if you can't heal your own hurts, don't expect yourself to heal theirs.
It rings true if they are 100 miles away, 10 minutes away, across the world, right? Across the world, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
No. Time and space don't exist in connection. I think what our issue is we think time and space are what's necessary for connection. But let me tell you the truth. Time and space are the issue for connection. Connection doesn't give a shit about time and space. Your human existence does. But if you let go of that part, and believe us, we're not trying to say that that's something you can do like this. It requires you having to look at yourself and start to study the stars inside. I get it. They're outside of you and they're mystical and magical to look at, but it's just as mystical and magical to look at it inside. Rule number 1, do not put self-worth in front of love. It does not. Self-worth and love don't get along. They don't get along because love doesn't know what worth is. Love is free. Love should be a way that releases yourself. But the only way you know that you really have done the work and have found it, you don't mind being vulnerable at all. If you hesitate in vulnerability, how are you in healing? How is that even possible? And I get it. Oh, Lee, you don't understand. Oh, no, it's not Lee. You don't understand. It's not we don't understand.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, what we can tell you is that when we're vulnerable with one another, it's beautiful.
Anymore, we haven't had much of a choice but to be vulnerable with each other. And it's for those of you out there, we'll start with the Geminis, because I'm one, and we are one. And I say we, I mean we, all of us.
The whole thing. Whole is the key. Whole.
Yeah. But we, I was going somewhere with it and I lost it.
You were talking about you had said there's Geminis.
Yeah, I was going somewhere with it. Oh, as people, we want to, I've lost it. It's gone. It's gone.
That happens.
It was important.
It's always.
There it was. So, not be vulnerable, right? Especially, I'm a Gemini. I carry a lot of masculine energy. I don't like to be vulnerable. The reason I don't like to be vulnerable is because when I was vulnerable at 10 years old, I was taken advantage of. So from 10 years on, being vulnerable wasn't an option for me. So we build up layers and layers and layers and layers and layers. And when sexual abuse comes into play, the layers are thicker and the bolts are bigger. And so, you build up this steel trap, right? And the vulnerability is locked, triple locked, quadruple locked, dead bolted, padlocked in the core of this shell, right? And it's, being vulnerable is scary, very scary to a 10-year-old girl who hadn't healed from sexual abuse or hadn't gone into healing. I don't ever want to say healed, but gone into healing over some sexual abuse, not some, a lot. And so being vulnerable, there's no way possible, now with our journey, and a lot of you have seen our journey and know what we've been through and everything. And now that this double terminal illness has infected our 3D lives, let's just say that 3D lives, not our 5D lives, right? Come in, and there's no choice. Now it's the disease that the universe picked to wake me up. I say that with all seriousness, but
Yeah.
it is a blessing in a way, because I have no choice but at times to be childlike and vulnerable. When I go into episodes, it's just crying, and a lot of times I feel like it's taking me back to that 10-year-old girl who's fighting to come out. And I get caught up in this, where when I come out of that episode and Lee tells me, hey, this is what happened. What do you remember? What's going on? And I'm like, nothing. I nothing. Like, how did I get here? What happened? And I'm mad.
Yeah.
Because I was vulnerable and let that show when I didn't have a choice.
But that's the only time that I found it's easiest to love you.
Right.
And I would tell you, there's different severity for different things, whether it's sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, child abuse, all forms of abuse that you end up going through. You still have a way that you actually end up being hurt. So there is different degrees to this, even if it's sexual abuse, like you said. You still can have those in the other forms of abuse and never ever recover or never be able to escape. And kind of like when we were talking to Mo, for example, he said he hasn't felt the need to ever be vulnerable. He has the ability. We've seen it.
Right.
We know he can, but we've seen that sometimes is the root cause of why you don't trust love anymore, is because you know that love consists of nothing but absolute vulnerability. And when do you make that a choice? When do you even sit in it and allow other people to experience that of you? This has been Conscious Connection Church. We hope you guys enjoyed this. We're coming. Know that we're here, and we're in our new healing room. And hopefully this is how you're healing you, in connection to yourself, to be connected to anyone else.
We'll see you for church next week. In the meantime, we'll see you then too.
Yeah. Bye.
The rich are getting richer and the poor getting killed. If we don't stand up for ourselves, I'm sure as hell nobody will. Cause hey now, the children are awake now. Pipe down, it's more than they can take or take down. If they don't catch a break, they'll break down. All I hear is hey now, the children are awake now. Pipe down, it's more than they can take or take down. If they don't catch a break, they'll break down.
These days, I'm just trying to get my bills paid. Had a dream of getting rich since the first grade, and I can't afford to fuck up my master plan, so I'm feeling pressure to behave. I could sell some weed, flip a bag just like my homies do. I'ma mess up, no luck, yeah, get charged, I'll take my license too. They're never gonna get it, the problems I'm underprivileged on a one-way train to be in those of every citizen. The plot thickens, except the powers of endless. Act as if you got nothing to lose, I'm fucking sick of it. We can no longer stay silent, because we're surrounded by violence. And I fear a night till they meet their demise, because we've already been blinded. Come on!
Stop, children, what's that sound? Something's in your way, go and burn it down. Stop, children, what's that sound? Something's in your way, go and burn it down. Hey now, the children are awake now. Pipe down, it's more than they can take or take down. If they don't catch a break, they'll break down. All I hear is hey now, the children are awake now. Pipe down, it's more than they can take or take down. If they don't catch a break, they'll break down. All I hear is hey now, the children are awake.